Alrighty, what is up, everyone? This is Jack here. I'm currently on my second channel. I want to do something a little bit different. I've been meaning to do this for quite a long time here now. But basically, what I'm going to do is break down every single trade that I take on a day to day basis. Of course, I know it is a Friday and it is the end of week. But moving forward, I want to make these videos every single day to show you guys exactly what trades I take on a day-to-day basis, show you my whole thought process, my executions, what I'm looking for coming into the market, and just everything that you need to know in order to have a great understanding of exactly what I'm looking for, and of course, how I manage my positions and everything. So, in today's video, this is going to be a brand new series. I'm going to try and do this raw, unfiltered, try and keep this one take. But yeah, let's get kind of right into it. As I mentioned, it is going to be more of a raw style. I think these are honestly the best educational value wise. The strategy ones are more polished. Those go on my main channel. The strategies and kind of examples that I look for, these are more raw, unfiltered. And of course, every trade that I do take, win or lose, will be posted on this channel. So make sure to let me know exactly what you guys want to see, because of course, this is my first time doing these type of videos. So let me know in the comments, right? Like the video. Let me know exactly what you guys want to see, what you like, what you dislike, and yes. So first things first, let me actually make myself smaller here. So this is my weekly stats. Super solid first week of the year. Technically, it's the second week, but I didn't take any trades last week. So really start off the week a little bit shaky. I'll go over some of the trades that I took on Tuesday, or I think I have some of the trades lined up, which is primarily that Intel trade, but started off the month a little bit shaky. I didn't take too many trades in the past 2 weeks of December since I was traveling and I was on lighter sides quite a bit. So I came back, just kind of shake the rust off, took a couple losing trades, but came right back on Wednesday with an absolutely beautiful Intel trade, higher time frame breakout. And then on Thursday, smaller trade on Nvidia, loss on Tesla as well. Would have been a super awesome day, but unfortunately, I'll kind of go over the live sessions. What's great is I do record all my live sessions every single day. I don't really post them. I post them for, of course, everyone in the community to look back on. But the one on Thursday was a one I wish I could take back. The 5 minute range towards the downside on Nvidia, which would have been solid. And then, of course, today we'll kind of talk about this Google trade. Contracts moved absolutely crazy. I was also super sized up for this one as well, which ended up being a larger P&L. So yeah, let's go on to some of the trades. Ended off the week around $25,000. This, of course, is TradeZilla, if you guys don't know. But let's go on to some of the trades that I ended up taking for this week. So first trades that I took was on Intel. So this is one of the favorite trades coming into this week. Ended up being a super solid higher time frame breakout trade, looking for a reclaim really back above our 4220. So let's kind of go into the higher time frames to see exactly what we're looking for, specifically coming into this day. So let's remove a couple of things here. So as you can see, Intel has been fairly bullish, right? Something to keep in mind here on Intel, we had a huge gap up, right? Bullish news catalyst last year, but overall higher time frames still holding up very nicely. Plus, right, the semiconductor theme has been very hot. If you look at MU, right, TSM, Intel, right, Nvidia, AMD, the SMH has been at all-time highs and has been continuing to lead the market higher. So Intel is one of the main things that have been benefiting, specifically with the whole semiconductor AI theme. As for Intel and what I was looking for coming to this week. So if you look at this on the daily chart, coming to market open, right, what I saw here was essentially a higher low being built here on the daily time frame. So what we had actually over the weekend is we had a pretty big gap up in the market. We had a gap up over the weekend. A lot of names are gapping up here as well. And you can see, right, super solid push last Friday. We had a nice gap up coming to market open. Now for Intel, right, you can see big drop right off the bat. And then day number two, which was Tuesday, we were consolidating, but we're still holding up. If you go back onto lower time frames, we kind of, I guess I got rid of some of my key levels here. But as you can see for Intel, the key level that I have marked out was our last Friday's highs. So we had that last Friday's highs marked out. And you can see on Monday, pretty sharp rejection right off the bat, but there's a lot of volume. And now you can see Intel kind of flirting on Tuesday, where we're just kind of consolidating around this general area, but overall still holding above key levels. Once we reclaimed here on Wednesday, coming into Thursday morning, I was very interested in Intel here because number one, we're above our key level, which was our 3980. The next level we have marked out here as well was your previous day highs. So coming into market open, this was one of my main watches just because it was showing strength. As you can see, right, big pop on big pop on Friday. If we zoom out here onto the hourly chart, you can see nice kind of push higher. Now we're still holding above key levels. As long as you can hold above your previous day highs, we're looking for a continued push towards the upside. So as you can see for Intel, breaking out here in the pre-market, now what we're looking for is the retest off our previous day highs. This is fairly clear to me, right? So coming to market open, you can see right off the bat, huge buyers stepped in, right? This would have been a super solid entry, but you can see within the first minute, a lot of buyers stepping in. Look how much volume is pushing here. Second candle already above your pre-market high. First 5-minute candle really is painting a huge picture here, right above your previous day highs, huge volume. Where are we going to be looking to target? We're going to be looking to target now your 4220, right? So that's a key level here on the higher time frames. If we speed up the tape, right, there's a couple different entries. The first entry would have been the break above or the first pullback long here on Intel. I was keeping an eye on it, but my original entry I wanted right here at your 4140 for this push towards that 4220. Unfortunately, was not able to get that entry. But second entry here, as Intel's pulling back, right, I'm still very much bullish on this ticker, right? It's very strong in the day. Let's go on to the QQQ. You can see the Qs, right, above your previous day highs, but Intel clearly breaking towards the upside with a lot of volume. So this one's showing a lot of strength. Why was I still interested in Intel for a continuation higher? Because number one, higher time frame breakout, and there's more room towards the upside. So as you can see here on the daily chart, just because now we broke above your Monday's highs, the next high is going to be essentially your yearly highs from last year. So Intel, higher time frame breakout, lots of volume. Now what I'm looking for is that next external level, which essentially is all the way up and towards 46. Or yes, sorry, it was this key level right here, which was your 44. So that was the key main target for Intel, was 44. And as we play the tape, once you can see, we had that strong reclaim back above, right? Lots of volume, stop just to break underneath. So very tight stop, looking for, right, continuation above 4240 for a potential pushback towards the upside. And if we play out the tape, you can see every single dip bought up, and we ended up having a nice push up in towards 44. So super solid trade here on Intel, scaled majority of my position, right? Just kind of scaling along the ways, but contracts move super nicely, especially those. I think we traded the 43 calls, if I'm not mistaken, or the 45 calls. No, sorry, I think it was the 45 calls on Intel. No, sorry, it was the 42. So 42 calls paid very nicely on Intel, every single dip, right? Down close candles, respected, and then we end up having that nice continuation, sold majority of my position up and towards your higher time frame key levels. So that was my trade on Wednesday. That ended up making me over $13,000 on Intel. The trade I also took on this day was Amazon as well. I tried going for the reclaim on Amazon, kind of fairly similar thesis, higher time frames, but this one already had a pretty big move higher. Basically, this is what my trade setup looked like on this day. It was looking for the reclaim back above your previous day highs. A little bit smaller size on this one. And of course, right, you already had that opening drive play. So this one, immediate kind of stop out towards the downside once it failed to break above your high of day. I actually ended up stopping out on this candle right here for a small loss. I think it was negative 1100. But I just took a quick stab on that one. Let's go on to Thursday, which was Thursday, which was a trade that I took on Tesla and Nvidia this day. As you can see here, I only made, let me pull this back up. This day here on Thursday, I ended up making 3K. I lost about 3K here on this Tesla trade, and I made up for it on this Nvidia trade. But coming into this day, originally I wanted to see that Nvidia 5-minute low retest. This is something I was eyeing. Unfortunately, I was a little bit hesitant on this trade. Just due to the fact I was a little bit slow on it, right? But I like this trade down in towards your previous day lows, right? The overall higher time frame thesis was for Nvidia right underneath. In this case, it was underneath our key levels, which was underneath this 189. I was looking for the break underneath for that push down in towards that previous day lows. But I was a little bit too slow, a little bit hesitant on this one. So I ended up missing this trade right off the bat. Would have been a super, super solid entry. And then right after, I decided to go in for the Tesla, break underneath their pre-market lows. Since you can see this one's showing a little bit more weakness, kind of rejecting off your this was your Mondays, sorry, this was your Tuesday's lows. I wanted to see kind of break and retest, and I was also interested in the potential break underneath your pre-market lows for a move down in towards low of day and below. Unfortunately, quick stop out on this one, lost $3,000, bounced back, and then took this Nvidia setup, which was off your previous day lows. Super textbook setup, hold underneath, higher time frame, break and retest as well. You can see level of support, support, support. I want to see turn into resistance for continuation lower. As you can see, nice kind of seller step in, exactly where I get in, looking for that next higher time frame key level, 184, sold majority of my position down in towards that and ended up cutting the remaining of my trailers. And then on Friday, super solid trade. I actually sized up. I actually took a lot more contracts than I wanted to, and I'm taking over 200 contracts or 200 contracts of the 330 calls, which is around a $20,000 to $25,000 position size, a little bit more than I wanted to, and things actually moved so quickly. So this one was a really solid setup in my opinion. Right, Google number one, higher time frames, very much bullish. Key level that we have marked out is your previous all-time highs. So if we remove a couple of these levels here, the main thing here was our previous all-time highs are 328.45. You can see yesterday a couple rejections kind of off this level. So coming to market open, if we can break back above, break and retest for continuation higher. So right off the bat, you can see right here, couple reactions. Once we broke above, we're looking for the retest continuation towards the upside. So for Google, break above, comes back down into this down close candle, right? Very tight stop here. Once we had any sort of buyer step in, risk a break below this 328, looking for your previous day highs. So it was just a quick trade up and towards your previous day highs, but these contracts on 0 days moved insanely quick, about honestly 70% within one candle. And the contracts, at least on the 330s, moved about $1 a contract. Basically moved over 100% within a couple minutes. So super solid day here on Google, and then sold majority like 80-90% up and towards this high, and then cut the rest as it came back down. So that was about it for my trades that I took this week. I know it was very brief just because I had to go over a week's worth of trades. But moving forward, they're going to be more in depth. I'm going to take a little bit more time to break down the trades that I took, my exact thought process for each individual trades, the scaling, the thought process, and whatnot. So stay tuned. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. I am doing this just to journal, right? And just to show you guys the possibility and to understand, right, actually how to take or what it looks like to take trades and how to manage trades, of course, because a lot of you guys always ask questions, and that's something I would always question when I first started trading, because these executions are very important, right? Once you understand the strategy, right, it's very easy to understand the strategy, but what's most important is the execution, the thought process, and just the trades that I take on a day-to-day basis. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, appreciate if you guys drop a like and sub. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see more videos like this, and I will catch you guys next time I take a trade. All right, take care everyone. Peace. Have a great weekend.